Hi everyone, your Primal here with another vlog. So it's been a while since I've done a Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile video, but I finished a deck recently. I was waiting on one card, but I figured I don't really need that card and I could just sub it with something else, so yeah, this deck is one that it's definitely on the slower side. It's not as fast-paced as something like my Stratos Dragon deck or some of my other decks. This is definitely a very casual deck build, but it's still fun, and it's on an archetype that I've always wanted to make a deck off of. It's a Yu-Gi-Oh! GX deck, and Yu-Gi-Oh! GX is my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime series, so having this deck be built, I don't know, I thought it was pretty fun, especially because it's from Season 3, which is one of the best seasons of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, but yeah. So the deck that I have built is right down here, laid out on my floor. So here are all the cards laid out on the floor. This is an Evil Hero deck. Evil Heroes showed up again in Season 3 of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. They didn't really get any support for their archetype, or sub-archetype, because they're like a subset of the heroes. But they didn't really get any support outside of their initial release until very recently, probably like about a year or two ago. I don't exactly remember, but yeah, it's some of the cards in it are just really neat, and I guess I'll just go over these cards. So first off, also this is my first time doing a deck profile video with this camera, so that's gonna be fun. But first off, we have Evil Hero Malicious Edge. If the opponent controls a monster, I can tribute this card with 1 tribute instead of 2. And it gets piercing damage. It's like an evil version of Elemental Hero Blade Edge. A lot of the evil heroes are evil or darker counterparts to Elemental Heroes, considering who uses them. Then we have Sinister Necrom, which is it's definitely an evil counterpart to Necroshade. This one, its effect is I can banish this card from the graveyard to special summon an evil hero monster from my hand or deck, except for Sinister Necrom. So this is really good to just instantly get out Malicious Edge or some of the other evil heroes that I run. But yeah, just nice for that. And having it in the graveyard can also work with cards like Dark Calling. So there you go. But it's also to thin out the deck a little bit just by being able to search for something. Then we have Evil Hero Adusted Gold, an evil version of Elemental Hero Captain Gold. So with this, I can discard this card from my hand and add Dark Fusion or any card that lists Dark Fusion in its text, which there's actually quite a few cards that do that, especially with the newer Evil Hero support that has come out, or that has come out. So it's just a nice search, and again, being in the graveyard lets me use effects like Dark Calling and whatnot, so yeah. And it's just a really handy search. Evil Hero Infernal Gainer is probably one of the least useful ones, I guess, but during the main phase, I can banish this card from the field and target a Fiend type monster, and it can make a second attack, which is pretty nice for like some of the big fusions or even like just Malicious Edge. And then it comes back, I believe, the second standby phase after I activate that effect, so neat. Infernal Prodigy here. If I control no monsters, I can special summon it from my hand in attack position, and if this card during the end phase was tributed to tribute a hero monster, I can draw a card, so neat for getting out Malicious Edge. But yeah, it's just there because. Then we have some Elemental Heroes, because quite honestly, just evil heroes by themselves really can't do anything, so having some Elemental Heroes here, I guess it's fitting because they do work in tandem with evil heroes, not all of them, but the Supreme King has Elemental Heroes in this deck. And I do want to point out that this deck is just purely evil heroes and Elemental Heroes, aside from like extra heroes in the extra deck, but I just wanted this to be like a little fun thing. There is one other card that doesn't really fit, but yeah. Anyways, Honest Neos. I can discard this card and target a hero monster on the field. It gains 2500 attack until the end of the turn, so really neat to give something just that extra boost. And I could also discard a hero monster, and then this card gains attack equal to the discarded monster's attack, but really its first effect is the one that I'd be using more. Stratos here is just there to search for things. If if it's normal special summon, and it's not a once per turn thing, which is really, really nice. When it's summoned, I can add a hero card from the deck to the hand, or destroy spell and traps on the field up to the number of hero monsters that I control except this card, so neat. Wildheart, it's really there as material for one of the fusions, but can't be affected by traps, which I guess is situational. I took the Liquid Soldier from my Destiny Hero deck for this, just because it's expensive. Hopefully the reprint will make it cheaper, so I can just have 2 copies, maybe even 3, for another deck, which I will talk about later. Anyways, Liquid Soldier here. When it's normal summon, I can target a level 4 or lower hero monster in the graveyard, except Liquid Soldier, special summon it, and if it's used as fusion material and sent to the grave or banished, I can draw 2 cards and discard. I can only use that effect once per turn. Solid Soldier. If it's normal summon, I can special summon a level 4 or lower hero monster from the hand. Even if it's sent from the monster zone to the graveyard by a spell effect, I can target a hero monster in the graveyard except Solid Soldier and special summon it in defense position. Neat. So I could just use some effects in combo, like I could use Liquid Soldier or Solid Soldier as effect to summon Stratos, for example, to get more searches off, which is nice. Then I have Shadow Mist. I can't use its effect to add a change spell because I don't really have one in this deck, but if it's sent to the graveyard, I get a search for a hero monster in the deck, so that's neat. Then I have Sparkman, Clayman, Bustinatrix, I can say its name, Bustinatrix, and Avian, the 4 original Elemental Heroes, and I have their alternate arts except for Clayman because it doesn't really have one. The one monster that doesn't fit in with the theme here is Nibiru. I need a rock-type monster, and this is actually a decent one. So if the opponent has summoned or special summoned 5 or more times, I can just tribute as many monsters on the field as possible, and then special summon this card, and the opponent gets a token. So, nice for clearing the opponent's field, but really it's just having a rock monster helps as well. And I guess it can kind of be thematically fitting because in Season 3 of GX, and also you can see it in the art of Adusted Gold, there's like this comet in the background, so I can pretend that this is that comet even though it's not. Anyways, that's it for the monsters. Onwards to the spell lineup, I have a hero lives, I pay half my life points if I control no monsters, and I can special summon a level 4 or lower elemental hero monster. That could come in handy just to get a quick Stratos out, or Liquid Soldier, or Solid Soldier, or whatever, or Shadow Mist. Just neat. Mostly for Stratos, though. Dark Calling. So, I can special summon a fusion monster from the extra deck that must be special summoned with Dark Fusion by banishing the fusion material monsters from the hand and or grave, and it's treated as a Dark Fusion summon, so anything that can be sent to the graveyard like Sinister Necrom and Adusted Gold, right there, that's an instant Malicious Bane. So yeah, and I run 2 of those. It doesn't get like the immunity effect that Dark Fusion has, but it's still neat just because I can use my graveyard for it. Then I have Dark Fusion here, special summon a Fiend fusion monster from the extra deck using monsters from my hand or field as fusion materials, and for the turn it's summoned, the opponent cannot target it with card effects. So nice little bit of protection there, and I can just get out any of the evil hero fusions. Evil Mind, which can be searched with Dusted Gold, same with Dark Calling because it has Dark Fusion in its text. But Evil Mind, if I control a Fiend-type monster, I can activate any of the effects based on the number of monsters in the opponent's graveyard. 1 or more, I can draw a card. 4 or more, I can add a hero monster or Dark Fusion from my deck to the hand. Or 10 or more, I can add Polymerization, or add 1 Polymerization spell or Fusion spell from the deck to the hand. So not just Polymerization, but Super Polymerization or Dark Fusion. So that's neat. Miracle Fusion. There to summon out some of the elemental hero fusions that I am running. Just banish elemental hero monsters, or the fusion materials really, from the field or graveyard to special summon an elemental hero fusion monster. There you go. Monster Reborn, just for that handy little special summon that could help out every now and then. I run 2 copies of Polymerization for that little extra fusion summon, and I can also use that in tandem with one of the other cards I have in the deck for Evil Hero Fusions. Reinforcement of the Army to add a level 4 or lower warrior monster, which is pretty much any of the elemental hero stuff. So, yeah. Super Polymerization. I mean, I think it's kind of fitting to have Super Polymerization in this deck just because that is, in a way, the Supreme King's signature card, and everything leading up to the creation of that card in GX is kind of important to the Supreme King in general. But discard a card, fusion summon a fusion monster from the extra deck using materials from my field or the opponent's field, or both, and the activation of this card cannot be negated. So that's actually very, very handy. Supreme King's Castle. This is another one of the new cards, but this one, this circumvents the evil heroes needing to be summoned with Dark Fusion, so it makes it so that I can summon evil hero monsters with things besides Dark Fusion. So again, Super Polymerization or Polymerization can be used, which is nice. But also, there's an additional effect to Supreme King's Castle where once per turn during damage calculation, if a Fiend monster, which is any of my evil heroes, battles an opponent's monster, I can send an evil hero monster from the deck or extra deck to the graveyard, and the monster I select gains attack equal to the level of the monster sent to the graveyard until the end of the turn. So I could just send, like, Malicious Bane or Malicious Fiend or Wild Cyclone. Those are level 8 monsters. Have one of my other evil heroes gain a quick 1600 attack and use that in tandem with Honest Neos for an additional 2500. So that's a, what, 4100 additional attack that could be made possible. Terraforming is to search for Supreme King's Castle. And then Storming Mirror Force because it's one of my favorite traps. Just sends the opponent's monsters back to the hand if they attack. Pretty fun. So that's it for the main deck. Onwards to the extra deck. So Malicious Bane is the quote-unquote ace of this deck. It's pretty easy to summon. It just requires an evil hero and a level 5 or higher monster. So right there, Sinister, Necrom, and Adusted Gold. They can just send themselves to the graveyard and then Dark Calling, because Adusted Gold can let me search for Dark Calling. Sinister Necrom I can send it to the graveyard with something else, like Supreme King's Castle or something. I don't know. But, yeah. And then Malicious Fiend is a pretty... Oh, wait, I didn't even go over Malicious Bane's other effects. So, it can destroy all monsters the opponent controls with an attack that's less than or equal to it. And it gains 200 attack for each monster destroyed that way permanently. Neat. Starts off with 3000 attack, but then it can just buff itself up. So that's pretty cool. And I can't attack the turn I activate that effect, but oh well. It's still pretty cool. Oh well, I can attack with hero monsters, but nothing else. Okay, anyways, onwards to Malicious Fiend. It requires Malicious Edge plus a level 6 or higher Fiend monster. So this one is going to be a little bit tougher to get out, but actually, I can just get 2 Malicious Edges out decently quickly with this deck. So, there we go, that's 2 materials for this. But, so, during the opponent's battle phase, all monsters they control have to attack Malicious Fiend, so that's nice. And it does have that 3500 attack, which is pretty cool. Wild Cyclone. So Wild Cyclone requires Avian and Wildheart. It's like the evil version of the Wild Wingman. I don't remember. But when this attacks, the opponent cannot activate spells or traps until the end of the damage step. And when this card inflicts battle damage, the opponent's spells and traps are destroyed. Pretty cool. So this here is Dark Gaia. This is why I have Nibiru. I need a Fiend type monster and a Rock type monster, which is where Nibiru comes in. And its original attack is the combined total of its fusion materials. So there you go. And then what else? When this card declares an attack, it can change all defense position monsters the opponent controls to face an attack, and those effects are not activated when that happens, like flood effects, for example. So that's neat. Lightning Golem here. an evil version of Thunder Giant. I believe just once per turn I can destroy an opponent's monster. Is that what it says? The glare makes it hard to read. Yeah. Next up, we have Evil Hero Infernal Sniper, which is an evil version of Rampart Blaster. So this card cannot be destroyed by spells, and during each of my standby phases I inflict 1,000 damage to the opponent if it's in defense position. So, neat. Then we have Inferno Wing, an evil version of Flame Wingman. So this thing can inflict piercing damage, and if it destroys an opponent's monster, it inflicts damage equal to either the highest stat of the monster destroyed. So if its attack is higher, it'll inflict that as effect damage, or if its defense is higher, it'll inflict that. So pretty powerful effect right there. Next up, moving on to the evil or elemental hero fusions, I have Absolute Zero. So this requires a hero monster and a water monster. So Liquid Soldier fills the role of water monster, and I have hero monsters everywhere, but once this card leaves the field, just destroys all the opponent's cards, or monsters at least. So, pretty handy, pretty easy to summon as well. And it gains 500 attack for each water monster on the field. Not really useful, at least for that, but the clearing the opponent's board is nice. Then Elemental Hero Escuridao, probably pronounced that wrong. But gains 100 attack for each elemental hero monster in the graveyard. So that's cool. Sunrise. This is actually one of the reasons why I run Miracle Fusion, because once it's summoned, I can search for a Miracle Fusion. So just summon this with like Liquid Soldier as one of the materials to get the draw power from that. And I have Miracle Fusion. I could save that, use Miracle Fusion for Absolute Zero, like next turn, and use Liquid Soldier's drawing effect again. So that's another possible combo with this. Its other effect is, when an attack is declared involving another hero monster I control, I can just target one card in the field and destroy it. So that's cool. Then of course we have Flame Wingman, just because it's cool. It's one of my favorite fusions. It's the favorite card of the main character of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. But yeah, just destroys a monster in battle. It can inflict its original attack as damage, or effect damage, so that's neat. Then we have the extra heroes here. Dread Decimator. So hero cards that this thing points to gains 100 attack for each hero monster in the graveyard with different names. And this thing has piercing damage. So that's cool. Wonder Driver. So Wonder Driver, what this thing does is, if a hero monster is summoned to a zone that this thing points to, I can search for a fusion or polymerization or change spell card. And then, geez, the text on this thing is so small. If this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard. Hold up. Okay, yeah, I can special summon a hero monster from my hand. So that's cool. This Evil Hero Infernal Devicer. That's a name. This is mainly for Evil Hero support, but when this thing is link summoned, I can reveal a hero fusion monster in the extra deck and add the materials for it to my hand, as long as I have different names. And then I cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck this turn except hero monsters. Then Fiend type monsters that this thing points to gains 100 times its level for so if it's pointing to, wow, I'm stumbling my words, but things that Fiend monsters that this thing points to gains attack and defense equal to its level times 100. So for example, Malicious Bane would gain 800 attack and defense if Infernal Devicer was pointing to it. So yeah. Anyways, that's it for the deck. It's a decent deck, but now I guess it's time to show test hands, which are fun. Wish I had long arms for this, but I don't, because the way I have this propped up, my tripod is on a couple of boxes so I can show off the map, but gotta do some shuffling here. Because I had to organize the deck for the deck profile, I had to do a lot of shuffling. I'm not gonna show all of that, I'm just gonna show you this little bit of shuffling. So there we go. Ready to do a test stand. Also, I like how I have this mat here for this deck profile video, showing off my boy Crystal Beast guy, who is, in a way, like, he is a prominent character in Season 3, and, I mean, without him, I guess the Evil Hero deck wouldn't have existed in the first place. I guess, but, anyways. So you got Dark Fusion, Supreme King's Castle, Infernal Prodigy, Sinister Necrom, and then Nibiru. What can I do here? What can I do? Actually, hold up. Yeah, I can do that right off the bat. So there we go. I have Supreme King's Castle, and then Dark Fusion. So I have options here. I could just do... Actually, yeah, I'll just send these two. So now I get Malicious Bane out on the field, which is now immune to effects for this turn. And then I could just take the Sinister Necrom in my graveyard, banish it, and then I get Malicious Edge out onto the field. So right there, that's an easy turn 1 combo where I have my big boy out, plus slightly less bigger boy. And then Supreme King's Castle just lets me get another Sinister Necrom out onto my graveyard for more special summoning. So yeah, that's a nice turn 1. And then I have Nibiru in my hand just in case the opponent tries to do any shenanigans. So there you go. That's a turn 1 combo that I could do. So let's now try for a turn 2 combo, assuming I can pull off anything. So let's just do some more shuffles. And honestly, because this deck is very casual, I'm expecting to have a lot more mulligans or a lot more dead hands, so yeah. Oh well, it's still a fun little deck to mess around with every now and then. But, let's see, draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then turn comes, I draw Terraforming. There we go. So with Terraforming, I can search for Supreme King's Castle. Boom. There we go. I play it. Shuffle my deck. And I have Dark Fusion in my hand, so I can quite honestly do a few things. I could get out Wild Cyclone, or I can get out Infernal Wing by summoning Stratos and then using that. Possibilities, but you know what? Let's just do that. Let's get out you for the Wild Cyclone. And then now I can attack with it. Opponent can activate spells or traps. I can just further increase its attack, so let's get rid of a Malicious Bane. It gains 1600 attack, so Wild Cyclone is at 3500 for the turn. And yeah. And then I just have these Stratoses in my hand just in case I need to search for it. There we go. That's, again, a very casual deck, I would say. I mean, I'm not running anything that could, like, speed it up because it's just strictly Elemental Heroes and Evil Heroes, so, like, no Vision Heroes or anything else like that, but oh well. I don't really care about that, because I have other decks that run that kind of stuff, but if I ever just want to have fun with evil heroes, I mean, I have a deck to do so. So, yeah. Anyways, I guess that's really gonna be it. I'm just gonna end it off here. So, yeah. I guess I'll see y'all next time for whenever I do another deck profile. I mean, I have another deck that is actually almost done being built, so that'll be fun, and then there's another one that I plan on building. But, yeah. If you like these deck profile videos, then, let me know. Or if there's anything, again, I could do to improve on them, then also let me know, because I do want to improve on those kinds of aspects, and just in general, but anyways, I'm just stalling with the ending. Thank you all so much for watching, and see you all next time for another vlog. Later.